Chapter 17. Conditional sentences. If plus past simple plus would, or should, plus base form of verb. Look at these sentences. If I were the mayor of Dhaka city, I would arrange to keep the city clean. If I were rich, I would go abroad. We use if I were, if he were, in the if clause, conditional clause, to refer to something imaginary, and in the main clause we use past future, would plus base form of the verb. Look at the examples. A. If I had a lot of money, I would buy a car. B. If I had a house in Delhi, I would be very happy. Note that if the past form of be verb is used, it is followed by a noun or adjective, the mayor or rich. In the second set of conditional sentences, the verb was, had, followed by an object, noun or pronoun. The main clause remains the same as the first set. A. We also use would in the if clause to make a request. B. If you would sit here, I would give you a cup of tea. Please sit here. Read the sentences. A. If it rains, I'll not go out. B. Were I rich, I'd help the poor. Sentences above express a condition each. After the fulfillment of one condition, another one occurs. In that case they are conditional sentences. The portion or clause preceded by if is termed as if clause. The sentence containing if clause is known as open conditional sentence, and the sentence except if clause expressing a condition is called closed conditional sentences. Conditional sentences are of three classes. They are A. First conditional of probable conditional sentence. B. Second conditional or improbable conditional sentence. C. Third conditional or impossible conditional sentence. First conditional sentence. Read the following sentences. A. If you go by train, the journey will be less expensive and less time consuming. B. If you agree, I will help you. C. Have a cup of tea if you like. In such a sentence, 1. The verb of the subordinate clause occurs in the present indefinite tense. 2. The verb of the principal clause shall be in the future indefinite tense, or sometimes in the imperative mood. For example, A. If you read attentively, you will succeed. B. Go home straight if you like to meet your maternal uncle. 3. If the sentence begins with if clause, a comma is used after the clause. But a comma is not needed after the clause if the sentence starts with the principal clause. Example, A. It may rain if the sky is cloudy. B. If the sky is cloudy, it may rain. If plus present plus future is the structure of the first conditional sentence. But there might be some exceptions. A. If plus present plus may, or might, is the first exception. Example, 1. If you can run fast, you may possess first position. 2. If he is skilled in driving, he might get the job. B. To indicate permission if plus present plus can, or may. Example, 1. If you feel strong enough, you may walk 20 meters at a stretch. 2. If you like, you may sing a song. C. If the principal clause of the sentence expresses request, command or order, the structure may be if plus present plus should, or must, or had better. Example, I. If you feel drowsy, you had better go to bed. 2. If he wants to live a healthy life, he should eat a balanced diet. 3. If they want to lead a successful life, they must be laborious. D. To express a scientific truth, habitual fact, or an automatic result, we use if plus present. For example, 1. If you run in the sun, you become sick. 2. If anybody rises early, he gets enough time to work. 3. If you clean your teeth regularly, you feel fresh all the time. 4. If prices get high, demand of the goods decreases. It is not mandatory that if clauses must be in the present tense. There are some variations of the if plus present clause. They are a. If plus present continuous. 1. If you are suffering from headache, you'll consult a physician. 2. If you need the lost pen, you should look for it inside the room. B. If plus present perfect. 1. If they have not enough money, they'll fail to build the road. 2. If you haven't learned well, you'll fail to answer to your teacher. All the sentences formed according to the structure if plus present plus future are complex sentences. On the other hand, these are also treated as probable conditional sentences. Some examples. 1. If you run fast, you may or might get the train. 2. If you have finished your homework, you can go to the field. 3. If you practice speaking English regularly, you can speak English fluently. 4. If you make a noise in your class, the class beside you will be disturbed. 5. If you secure GPA 5, you get admission in a good college. 6. If you eat more, you'll suffer from stomachache. 7. If you go out in the rain, you will suffer from cold. 8. You will be a liar if you tell lies. 9. The Pied Piper will rid the town of rats if his demand is fulfilled. 10. I may help you if you help me. The second conditional sentence. The second conditional sentences are also called improbable conditional sentences. Such sentence indicates to impractical, impossible or unexpected affairs. Such a sentence contains some qualities. 1. The if clause of such an improbable sentence would be in the past tense. 2. The structure of the principal clause would be would plus verb, bare infinitive. The tense of such verb is called conditional tense. 3. Though the tense of the verb of the if clause is in the past form, it indicates to the present or future form without indicating to the past. Subject plus verb, or past form of verb plus object plus subject plus would, or should plus verb, present form plus to plus object. For example, 1. If I had a bike, I would let you drive it. 2. If I know his nickname, I'd call him by this. 3. If I had a pen, I'd lend it to you. 4. Everybody would call me names if I committed a fault. 5. What'd you do if you were the president of the country? 6. I'd establish a hospital if I had enough money. 7. If I left the sack, it'd mean a loss. 8. If I were you, I'd buy an expensive car. 9. If I had enough time, I'd have visited the suffering people. 10. If I were attacked by a criminal, I'd have caught hold of him. Note 1. The if clause expresses opposite condition of practical information. 2. It is expected that the incident of the if clause doesn't happen in such conditional sentences. Example, A. If you lined with unwanted people, you would be sorry. B. If he fell in a trap, he would lose his belongings. 3. Improbable conditional sentences are sometimes used to indicate possibility like the probable conditional sentences. Example, if we work together like a team, the project would be finished in time. 4. Could or might may be used in place of would, should in the main clause of an improbable conditional sentences. Example, A. If you work seriously, you might do the work successfully. B. If you started punctually, you could attend the class in time. C. If you set out earlier, you might catch the train. 5. Would, or, could, or, might, plus, be, plus verb, plus ing, may be used in the main clause of the improbable conditional sentence. Example, A. If I knew this before, I would not have gone there. B. If I had enough money, I'd be doing the research in a foreign country. 6. The structure, if, plus, past, can be used in the improbable conditional sentence, or, second conditional sentence as it is in case of, if, plus present, in the first conditional sentence. Example, A. If I desired to buy a pen, I bought it. B. If I knew you, you'd not have to suffer so. Some examples. 1. If I were a bird, I'd flew to you. 2. If we visited him, he would be happy. 3. If he stopped smoking, he would not suffer from bronchitis. 4. If I were an examiner, I would award good marks. 5. If I were an English teacher, I'd speak English fluently.